Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. This is a channel about books, basically the books I read, whether it's on my Kindle or the books that I order on Amazon or maybe buy it from a bookstore. So today I'm going to discuss about the book that I recently read just yesterday. I finished reading it yesterday. Uh, and the guy who's written the book, he's become a big celebrity on the news channels in India. He's an ex IITN in aerospace engineering, and then he became a saint or a sannyasi, as they call them in India. Basically, an ascetic who leaves all the worldly things and devotes himself to spirituality, God, religion, etc., etc. Before I I share my experiences about this book that I read on my Kindle, I'm gonna tell a little about this Kumbh Mela event, where the news channel reporters found this guy, and he became so popular on the news channels. So the Kumbh Mela, it happens at 4 different places in India. It's on the river banks: Prayagraj, Nasik, Ujjain, and Haridwar. Because of my interest in both in history as well as in astronomy, when I found out again through YouTube channels that the Kumbh Mela, the the day of the year when it's going to happen is also decided by the planetary motion of Jupiter. So it's either 12 years, or when Jupiter completes its whole circle around the sun, that's like 144 years. That's when the Mahakumbh or the Grand Kumbh Fair slash Mela happens. This year, it's happening in Prayagraj. Prayagraj is considered in Hindu Dharma or religion as the most sacred of all the tirth or holy places in the Hindu religion. So it's it's very important for somebody who's interested in the history and the story of it written in the Hindu Purans, and also for somebody like who has interest in astronomy, that such the recording of planetary motion of an extraterrestrial planet like Jupiter was being recorded in India for thousands of years before we know about modern astronomy that came to be developed in the Western world. The other beautiful thing about this event is not just this Mahakumbh happening this year in India, but also about all the kumbhs is that usually devotees in any religion, they go to their respective church, mosque, synagogue, or in Hindu temples, in Buddhist monasteries, and so on. But in this case, all the saints who are living, say, in their religious places like mathas, as they call it, Hindu Dharma, or in the mountains, meditating in the Himalayas or in the forest somewhere, they all come down to these places, which is like 5% of the total gathering, and the rest are all the devotees, like regular people like myself. All these saints or sannyasis, along with the ancient Indian practitioners of Ayurveda, Arthashastra, or astronomy, all these people, they come together and they discuss about the new things that they have found out, the new ways, say a new way of a yogic pose or a new way to meditate. They will discuss about among themselves, and then they'll meet the regular people and give them satsangs or religious sermons. So in this scenario, a regular person who is a devout Hindu, he won't have to go to a certain not so easily reachable place in the mountains, but these saints will come down to a river bank and meet them over there. It happens on such a grand scale And there is so much spirituality, devotion at these places. Of course, there is chaos as well, uh, but it's amazing to give you an idea. Like presently, uh, the number of people that's going to come to Prayagraj, which is a Mahakumbh. That means it's a 144 years event, which is related to the completion of Jupiter of its rotation around the sun. So the number of people coming to this one event in 10 days is close to 450 million. That's more than the population of the whole of United States. It's a big responsibility on the government and the administration to make arrangement for this event. There are people like Shankaracharyas who are like head of different mathas looking for Vedic mathematics, and there's a book written by a Shankaracharya and on Vedic mathematics. So all these smart people, not just about religion, meditation, but about all these different things, they congregate at this one place and discuss about it. And you know, media, they're always looking for something out, something that can be sensational. All news channels, and then once one reporter got this guy on the camera, then everybody was swarming him for the same thing again and again and again. And like the whole thing about how the event is being organized, who are the other people, who are the saints, what is being discussed. Like I said, they discuss about meditation, yoga, and all those things. That took the backstage, and this sensational news about this one person became the hot topic. So I'll give a brief history before we go to the book written by him. I'll let you know how I ended up reading the book written by this man. Person, Abhay Singh, he did his aerospace engineering from IIT Bombay. Getting into an IIT in India is way tougher than getting into an MIT in the United States. So it's a really tough exam. So this guy must have been really smart among all the people writing that exam in that year, that he got into an aerospace engineering course in IIT Bombay. After finishing the course, this guy was not interested in engineering, so he did masters in photography. That's what I came to know from his interview. And later on, he ended up in Canada working for a while. And during COVID, he just went back to India and became a saint. There are events from his personal life as well, which is discussed, but that may or may not be important for this book. Later on, I found him on an interview with an Indian podcaster that I watch a lot. The channel is mostly about Hindu philosophy, and I watched that interview. In that interview, this guy mentioned that he wrote a book before he became really popular, and nobody was buying that book at that time. But now, because he's in the news, so maybe people will read what his thoughts are. Many people are calling him eccentric. Many people are calling him a loser because he threw away everything that he had. I won't get into a judgment like that, because we all are good attorneys for ourselves and judges for others. I won't get into that. I'm here just to discuss about the book that he wrote. The book's name is A Beautiful Place to Get Lost, written by IITN Baba. IITN means somebody who has finished IIT. Baba refers to a sannyasi or a saint. So, and the book in total is only 102 pages. And in those 102 pages also, it's like usually when you are reading a book, you are used to, like for myself, I'm usually used to finding the whole page on my Kindle or the book I'm reading to be full of words. But a lot of the places, the book has been written like a poetry kind of a thing. I'll just share a few lines with you. The place of love. the place of nothingness, yet everything is there. What doesn't stop by death? Why doesn't stop by time? It is that which is always there. It is that which never gets over. It not newness, it is not attachment, it is the light and darkness together. It is me and you together. It is a small sparrow and it is a slightly afraid cow. It is the flowing water and it is the cloud. All of this is in you. I am also in you and you are in me. It is the fullness of emptiness. It is possible. It is here and everywhere. So, yeah, I mean, most of the book has such lines, and to me, the my favorite book on philosophy is the Bhagavad Gita, and I have read the Bhagavad Gita by Ascon. I've read the Bhagavad Gita by Gita Press Gorakhpur. I've listened to other different Bhagavad Gitas on my Audible app, and like also like I ordered a Bhagavad Gita from Saregama HMV. They send a small radio box on which there is a recorded Bhagavad Gita. Wow. For myself, till now, I found Ascon Bhagavad Gita really good. So what I mean to say is, I have a little bit of knowledge about Indian philosophy. Not knowledge, I would say I have read a little bit, and same way I have read Ashtavakra Gita as well. So after reading all that, and I have read about different philosophies on which the Hindu Dharma, the Shat Dharmas, Nyaya, Vaisheshik, Sankhya, Yoga, Mimamsa, Vedanta, and then the non-believer or the Nastics like Bodh, Jain, and Charvaks. So I have a little bit of idea what the whole philosophy revolves around. And this person being, I mean, he presents himself as a Hindu sadhu or a sannyasi or a saint. From that angle, these 102 pages, if he was not a saint, it could have been maybe, you know, a book that you can find in a Walmart or a Costco written by somebody from the West, a European or an American guy, not necessarily an Indian. So I didn't, I mean, the guy who was taking his interview, he was like, I mean, this is mind blowing and this is out of the world. Maybe I'm not that smart enough, because the author, Abhay Singh or IITN Baba, he did mention about a mathematical formula that he maybe he's working on it, or he was describing it to describe the word Om, the Om Hindu symbol, and there's a mathematical way that he said like it can be described. I would have been really interested in if that was part of the book. I mean, if somebody can describe that way, because I mean, I was not that good in maths. I just like to read books, and this one was. I mean, in my honest opinion, and I can be biased because again, like I said, like I just like to read. I'm not good with that. I'm not in that level in meditation, or not an like IITians are super brainy people, you know. So I'm not in that league, and like I've seen people who are so dedicated, who are so hardworking, and I was like, whether I pass or I fail an exam, I'll just go with my friends to a pub and a bar and have a good time. And I always used to build, and later on in life, when I see those people who really slogged, who didn't care like what's happening around them, and they are doing well in life, and I see somebody like in the same league, leaving all that and becoming a sannyasi or a baba or a saint. I mean, I go by a Bhagavad Gita where Krishna tells Arjun, just keep doing what you're doing as if you're a nobody, and leave everything on to me. And IITN Baba or Abhay Singh or the saint or sannyasi, he did tell in his interview, like there are two ways to get to God, like through Gyan Marg or through Bhakti Marg, and both of them they lead to the same place. And yeah, I mean, that's what the Gita is all about, apart from all other different things that's mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita. But yeah, I mean, for me, for somebody who's looking to read about Indian philosophy, because you find this guy in Mahakumbh, one of the biggest events in Hinduism. I was expecting something deep on Indian philosophy, but I didn't find that. Yeah, there are mentions about love and all that, but yeah, that was my honest opinion. You can call me biased if you want. A beautiful place to get lost. It's time for me to get lost. Thanks for watching. Please leave a comment if you read the book. How do you find it? I bought it on Kindle for $7. I have had bought like books written by some great Indian authors for much cheaper sometimes. So, but that's the price on this book. If you want, you can read it. I mean, and if you want to skip it, so you can. I mean, I didn't find it to be a must recommended book to read, but I did want to share my experiences because so much hype going around this one person in the news. So I thought I'll just read it, but that was my view on the book. Thanks for watching.